Hi divers, welcome back to yet another video. Today I got my hands on a very interesting backup light that might work as a primary light for easy recreational diving too, the Orca Torch D710. Let's have a look coming up. There are numerous primary and backup lights in the market and I'm testing many of them. Today I got this guy, the D710 from OrcaTorch. OrcaTorch sent me this one for free to test it out, but I do not get any money from them to make this video or say anything positive about it, so everything I say about this light is my honest opinion as always. The body of the light is made from an aluminum alloy, including the battery. It weighs 222.84 grams, so 223 grams. The design is nothing really special, but that's nothing I'd expect from a backup light. It looks functional and streamlined and I like that. There is a large attachment point for a bolt snap at the rear end, so it's simple to attach it to the shoulder D-ring. If you are not into DIR style equipment, you might want to use this wrist lanyard. You could just attach it to the rear end. And now wear the light around your wrist. I personally would not recommend this, but I would only use it as a backup light anyway. So if you like this, you have the option. What else can I say? The light is turned on and off with this little push button here. You can switch through the 3 available dim levels by just pushing it. So it's the brightest, second and third. And no matter what dim level you are in, if you hold the push button down, it goes into turbo mode. So it's really bright then. So overall, it's a really nice and convenient, well-made light. However, for GUE divers, this is a bit off standard since buttons like this are always weak spots. That's why in the GUE world we prefer turn headlights. Anyway, the button itself looks very robust and for recreational diving it should do its job. I don't know if you can see it here, but the D710 has a small thread at the light head where you can screw a filter on if you like. So now let's open the light and have a look at the power supply. You see the light is secured with 3 O-rings here, and the manufacturer claims that this light has a maximum operational depth of 150 meters. The D710 is powered by a 21700 rechargeable lithium-ion battery that can be recharged with the supplied USB-C cable. So just plug the cable in the battery and the other end in the charger, and then you're good to go. Still, you have to open the light every time you need to recharge it. It's not a big deal, but still having the option to charge it without opening would be beneficial. The battery itself has 18 watt-hour, so when it comes to having it on a plane, this should not be a problem. The OrcaTorch gives a maximum burn time of 7 hours and 40 minutes for the lowest dim level and 1 hour and 40 minutes for the highest one. Since you would use this light primarily in open water anyway, you don't really need the low levels most of the time anyway, so let's test the burn time on the highest dim level. The burn time of the OrcaTorch D710 was, as OrcaTorch claims, 1 hour and 40 minutes on the highest dim level. Sure, I always need a couple of minutes to prepare the time-lapse, so let's say it was 1 hour and 45 minutes. This is not extremely long, but should be okay at least for most recreational dives. Still, there are lights out there with a longer burn time. Check out my video above. However, we must not forget in dim level low it goes, according to OrcaTorch, for over 7 hours, which should work even for multiple dives. And of course, since the battery can be replaced between dives, you could just have a spare battery in your bag. For DIR-oriented divers, using a rechargeable battery in a backup light is, well, a matter of discussion at least. I said something about that in my video about the Heiser backup and the HW backup light, link above. Tell me in the comments if you prefer rechargeable or non-rechargeable batteries in your backup lights, and if you took already some value from this video, please leave a thumbs up now. So now let's check the brightness of this light. I started using a lux meter, well, some time ago. I test the brightness and lux at a distance of 1 meter. So let's first turn off all the lights. So I want to make it as comparable as possible. You see it's pretty dark in here. And on the highest dim level, in 1 meter of distance, I get 28,000 lux. Now the second dim level, in 1 meter of distance, 11,600 lux. The lowest dim level, 4,800, depending on how I hold the light beam, how the light beam hits the center. Now I can go for the turbo mode in 1 meter of distance, 40,000 lux. Around 40,000 lux. OrcaTorch claims the light to have 400 lumen in the lowest dim level. The light has a 6-degree spot, so in a distance of 1 meter, this should equal to 46,453 lux. In fact, I measured 5,000 lux at this distance. The second dim level has an output of 800 lumen according to OrcaTorch, or 92,906 lux with that spot and distance. I measured only 11,600 lux. The highest dim level has 1,700 lumen according to OrcaTorch, or 179,424 lux. I measured actually only 28,000 lux. For the turbo mode, OrcaTorch claims 3,000 lumen, which equals to 348,396 lux, which is really insane. However, I only measured 40,000 lux in the turbo mode. So in the end, the values I measured are much smaller than the values OrcaTorch gives. However, measuring lumen and lux is quite complicated because the beam angle and the distance is important. My lux meter is rather cheap and I cannot control properly for the illuminated area on the sensor, so these are just very rough values that are more or less only good for a direct comparison of lights. I think I'm going to make a direct comparison to some other backup lights in the future, so consider subscribing to my channel and don't forget to activate the bell to be notified when new videos come out. By now, I can only tell that Heiser claims for the Heiser backup, and if you watched the video about the Heiser, you already know that I really prefer this light. They claim the Heiser to have 300 lumen, which is less than the lowest dim level of the D710. So this light here is brighter than most backup lights. This light comes together in such a nice cover together with the battery, and I found some offers on Amazon with 2 batteries for the same price, link below, together with the lanyard and the charging cable and some spare O-rings. It comes for $159.95 US. On the European market, it costs around 140 euros. The price is not particularly high, but it's not cheap either. A comparable light like the Heezer backup is with over 185 euros much more expensive, while you can get easily backup lights on Amazon or eBay between 30 or 40 bucks. So what can I say about this light, the Orca Torch D710? It's lightweight and slim, yet bright, and features a rechargeable battery. The production quality is rather good, at least what I could see. Still, I've got to do long-term testing anyway with that light. Overall, I think it makes a good light for recreational divers that do not absolutely depend on the light. I'd love to see a longer burn time in future versions of the light, although this light is much brighter than other comparable lights. Just remember that even the lowest dim level has 400 lumen, which is still more than the Heezer or the HW backup have, and on the highest dim level, not to speak about the turbo mode, which cannot be activated permanently and not longer than 1 minute, on turbo mode it still has more lumen than most primary lights. Still, lumens are not a good way to measure the usable light underwater and just tell you something about the brightness of the LED, but not about the real world brightness in diving scenarios. Still, I have the feeling this light is really bright and hence could serve as a primary light in easy recreational non-GUE style diving. As a backup light for cave dives or technical dives in general, I would recommend something without a push button and non-rechargeable alkaline batteries, providing much longer burn times. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and hit the bell and never miss upcoming videos. On this channel I do a lot of gear reviews and I did quite some dive light reviews you can watch here.